And it's really interesting, I think, Emmanuel, the contrast between how Morocco is pushing forward very publicly on its defense ties with Israel, while they're in Jeddah over the weekend in Saudi Arabia, especially the Saudis, making clear they don't want to, at least certainly publicly, discuss or even acknowledge any possible defense ties or cooperation with Israel.
Right. Well, first of all, the Saudis would want something in return for officializing their ties with Israel. As I mentioned before, what Morocco got in return was a recognition of its sovereignty over Western Sahara. But the question is, what would Saudi Arabia gain from the United States for officializing its relation with Israel? And Saudi Arabia is still very much stuck into its old paradigm of a two-state solution, of Israel accepting the establishment of a Palestinian state. There were talk before that maybe the Saudis would give up on that, like the other Arab states who normalized their relation with Israel did, but the answer was no. Apparently, in this generation struggle between Mohammed bin Salman and his father, the old establishment got the upper hand in conditioning any normalization to Israel by Israel accepting a two-state solution officially and establishing a Palestinian state. Now, we have to understand also that Saudi Arabia is in a position where it can make demands, even though the U.S. is the superpower here. The U.S. president went to Saudi Arabia to ask them to increase their production of oil in order to help lower the prices internationally. So the Saudis are in a position of strength. The Moroccans need Israeli technology, military technology. So the two cases are very different in terms of their geostrategic position and interests.
All right. Dr. Emmanuel Navon, thank you for joining us.